Alright, what's up guys? Time to do a dread update. I said I was going to do it a few days ago, never got around to it, so I'm going to try it now. I just made this video once, and I was 11 minutes into it, and I realized if I have this tablet in my hand that I can't exactly do a 360 spin, let you see the back of my head. It's kind of hard to get my hand back there without being all sloppy. So I decided to remake the video, which is just lovely. Don't get to use my awesome backdrop this way, but whatever. Okay, so start out by saying my dreads are 5 months old. It's been a crazy 5 months. It's been an annoying 5 months, and it's been an awesome 5 months. The method that I used to start them out, I'll start by saying this. The method that I intended to use to start them out was going to be Colin's method. Colin's Dread 777 is his YouTube channel. Just type how to make dreadlocks in YouTube. It'll be one of the first videos that pops up. His channel is awesome, one of the best dread channels on YouTube. Definitely check it out. He's got loads of information. I will eventually have loads of information for you, but for now, he's got it covered. So does Lazy Dreads. Check his channel out too. It's awesome. Anyways, so I wanted to use the method that he uses in his video. And it's basically you back home at the root, and then you take the loose hair, and you take your crochet hook, you make little loops out the sides of it, ball up the loops, pull the loops into the back combed area, and you make the whole dread with the crochet hook, and it makes them really super tight, really early. Takes away a lot of the shrinking time. It makes them really short, so any of the shrinking that they're going to do naturally, you pretty much take care of that yourself when you put them in that method. And so the person that I originally had helping me start mine, she was able to do that method. So the first 4 that I ever got were done with that method. After that, she kind of bailed on helping me out. So the second person that I had helping me, which is my girlfriend now, I definitely wouldn't have been able to get them done without her. So shout out to Ariana, thanks. Anyways, she couldn't really figure out how to install them with the crochet hook. She'd never used a crochet hook for anything before. She never crocheted anything. So it's kind of hard. It was hard for me to describe to her, or for her to wrap her head around the idea of how it works. So we just decided to back home, and then I would go back and tighten them with the hook after. So from the second row on the back of my head up to about here, all the rows except for this top row around the side and the top of my head, they were all back home, but even then they were still done a little bit differently. The first few rows that we did, I had her back home them tight as she could, super tight, and then I went back and tightened them up with the hook. But I found out that if she back homed them really tight, it was kind of hard for me to go in there and do any more tightening with the crochet hook. And so, they were already pretty tight from back homing, but I've seen how back homing, they get a lot looser every time. They have a lot of shrinking left to do, blah, blah, blah. So what I had her do, I had her take the next section that we tried and just back home it really loosely, just barely at all. And then I would take the crochet hook and tighten that up, and that made them super tight. It worked really well. Still not as well as the method I originally intended on using, but it worked really well either way. They turned out awesome. Any method's going to turn out awesome. It just depends on what you do with them, how you take care of them, what you want them to look like. They can all pretty much end up looking the same. So yeah, then once we got to the top part of my head, the part that I can reach myself, any side, all angles, I just had her back home the root, and then I used Colin's method. I installed it myself with the crochet hook. So I've got multiple methods done on my head. All my dreads look the same. There's proof for you that it doesn't really matter how you put them in. They're going to turn out fine. It's definitely been a huge test of patience letting them grow, or letting them tighten and mature. They've gotten really messy at times. I've been so aggravated with them at times. When they were young, they don't do it as much now, but when they were younger, I would take a shower and I'd love the amount of body that they had, how they looked like my regular hair, they had shape to them and everything. And then I'd sleep on them and I'd wake up looking like a bell or something really goofy. I'd sleep on them and they'd get super flat to my head, so I would just wear them pushed back in a headband every day. But the only thing I hated about that is it gives you a headache over time, and when you take it down, or when they're really short, after they're like this for so long, I'd let them down and they'd be popping straight out sideways, and I didn't like that. And also, like, a couple of them, when they were pushed back, like, the root kind of started growing a little twisted. It's kind of weird. It's whatever, though. I'm sure it'll fix itself, but I just didn't really want to have to do that. And now I'm to the point where I can put them up for a little while and pull them down, and they fall back down. They're heavy enough now. And I'm to the point where even after I sleep on them, I can just kind of wake up and just give them a little push, and they kind of get some body to them. So I'm starting to be a lot happier with where they're at, even noticeably over just the past month or 2 months. So it's pretty nice. I wash them twice a week, every 4 days actually, with Dr. Bronner's liquid soap. I used the tea tree cinnamon one. You dilute it 10-to-1 with water. Works great. I've never used anything else. I plan on trying out some other things eventually, but that's all I've got for now, and it works great, so that's what I use. I just went swimming in a lake yesterday. It was the first time I went swimming with them, and I haven't washed them since then, but I'm going to wash them today, but that's probably why they're a little frizzy. Plus I just mowed the grass and got all sweaty, so they're looking extra frizzy today. They're totally in their natural state. I didn't do any maintenance. I didn't make them look prettier than they should for you guys. They're just fully, this is what you get. This is how they are. I'm trying to think. I don't really have a whole lot of decoration in mine, though I'd kind of like to put some more stuff in them. Find this one. I've got one right here that's got hemp wrap in it. The way I did it was just like took the hemp, pushed it through the loose hair at the root, and then I took one strand on one side and spiraled it around, took the other hand, spiraled it around, kind of giving it that little X pattern. It's not perfect, but it's whatever. Neither are dreadlocks. Neither is anybody or anything. Even though everything is, maybe, who knows, philosophy. Anyways, couple things I just wanted to say, my take on wax. I've seen people that have used wax and got it out early, and their dreads turned out fine. I've seen people that haven't used wax, their dreads turned out fine. I've never used any wax, and I never will, and my dreads have turned out awesome, in my opinion. I think they look great for being so young. Like I said, they're only 5.5 months old at the youngest ones, and there's like the few bottom rows are a couple months older than that. It was like my girlfriend like has a time staying motivated and staying on task, so it actually took us like 2 months total to get my whole head done. Like, it took forever, dude. So I had like so much undreaded. Like I'd have like half my head dreaded, and then like the top of my hair was long hair, so it would just like hang over them. Like, it was really weird, really awkward for the longest time, but we eventually got them done, and yeah, here I am now. But so my opinion is, when you use wax on your dreads, like, you take wax on your hands, rub it in, rub it on your dread. Of course, the wax is gonna hold your hair still. It's gonna make the dreads look good for a while, but what it prevents is movement. Like, it holds your hair still. And what a knot is tangled hair. And how does hair tangle? It moves. So if you want your hair to tangle and knot naturally at the pace that it can and will, don't wax your hair. If you want it to look awesome in the very, very early stages, which it can and will if you do it the method that I installed them with, but if you want them to look awesome and not lock, but just look good for a little while, I guess use wax. But when you finally stop using wax, then they're still going to have to go through that early phase just like everyone else's did, because you haven't given them any time to lock or move or whatever. And then another technique that a lot of people use that I'm completely against is root flipping. Root flipping is when you take one of your dreads, and this is supposedly what people do to like make their hair dreaded to the root as close as possible. You take it, flip it through the root like that, and pull it out the other side. Okay, don't do that. In my humble opinion, don't do that. Like, what it does, okay, imagine here's your root, right? And here's the dread sticking out. Alright, you take it, push it through. Now that dread is in between these two strands of straight hair. Okay, so now from this point, in my opinion, this strand can dread together, and this strand can dread together, but there's a dread in between them, so they can never, all the little single hairs in here can never, like the single hairs in this one, the single hairs in this side, can never dread together. They can't fuse together. Once something's in between them blocking them, they're forever gonna have that braided look, and I'm sure you've seen that if you've seen a lot of people who get maintenance done at salons. Salons love the root flip. One of my friends works at a salon, and he root flips people's dreads when he gives them maintenance, and he's got awesome dreads. His dreads are dope. He's had them for years. He installs dreads really well, but I just disagree with him in the fact that he root flips, because there's this one guy that comes there that's been coming there for a while, and he's got like 3 inches at his hair at the bottom of his dreads that look braided. Like, it doesn't look like dreadlocks, and I'm not cool with that. That's not what I want. Honestly, I've never even went and root rubbed my whole head, or clockwise rubbed, whatever you want to call it. That's what most people do that don't root flip, to keep their roots nice and tight, and I've never really done that. I've been super lazy about it. I'm sure it could probably help me out a little bit if I did do that, but I haven't. And in the 5 months that I've had them, or the 5.5 months since I finished, so like I said, some of them are older than that, I've only went through my whole head with a crochet hook twice. So I've tried to be really sparing with it to avoid damaging hair and breaking hair, and give them time to kind of do their own thing. But still, like, when they were 2 months old, I went in and tightened them all up, and I pulled all the tips back in, and the tips have stayed really well since then, to be honest. And then I waited till about 4.5 months, which is just about a month, maybe a month and a half ago, if that. I went back through and tightened them all up again, and made sure like the hairs hanging out of the roots got pulled back up, or the tips came back up in there. Because to be honest, Colin said this in one of his videos, and I've noticed it to be true. You can be as fuzzy as you want on the bodies, frizzy, fuzzy, whatever you want to call it, but like, if your tips are neat, it kind of makes your whole head look neater. It's weird, like, because people's eyes kind of get drawn to the bottom where the dreads end, and if those are neat, it just kind of makes your whole head look neater. So there's just a little trick tip for you. So let me get this out of the way. I'll go ahead and do the 360 spin for you guys, because I'm running out of stuff to say. I feel like I've been rambling half this video anyways, but whatever, I'm new to this, so give me a break. Alright, here we go. Alright, I'm on the couch sideways, so I'm just going to go back this direction. Alright, there's the view. I'll give you one more little view of the back. I know the back's always where people are like, it gets the messiest, so I'll show you the back of mine one more time. Here's the back. Probably is the messiest part of my head, but whatever. I don't have to look at the backs, so whatever. So yeah, in the meantime, before I fill my channel up with super awesome information for you guys, like I mentioned earlier, Colin's Dreads 777 is a great YouTube channel, super informative. Check his videos out if you're like me and you like to spend time watching videos. Ryan O'Reilly 1 has a 2-year timeline on his, and a lot of informational videos, and he's also got some pretty good content on there. Him and Colin sort of have a few points where like their videos, like their informational videos, kind of clash or disagree on certain things, but it's not really anything serious. Like, both points of views are good to take. And also, Lazy Dreads is another really good YouTube channel. He comes out with content all the time still. He's got like hundreds of question and answer videos, so anything that you could want to ask, he's probably already answered it. I would love to do some Q&A videos, so if you guys want to drop some questions in my comment box, I will let you know anything you want to know. I'd be more than happy to respond to you, message you back, but I'll probably just make videos, Q&A videos as well. I feel like that'd be fun. Anyways, I'm done talking, rambling, so later guys.